Okay, this is in response to people who've come up with something to the effect of, you can't prove there's no God, or how do you know there's no God? Rather than bore you with formal logic, I thought I'd give you a perfect real-world example. So here's my claim. I'm God, and you can't prove otherwise. Now, I know the first thing you're going to say is, well, prove you're God. It's like, no, that's not the issue there. That's what I keep asking for you. I keep asking you to prove that your God is God, that your God exists, that the person you claim is God, that the Bible that you claim speaks for God, or the Quran, or whatever, is actually something. That's my thing. I keep saying, prove to me that this is actually God. You keep saying, wait a minute, no, prove to me there's no God. Why shouldn't I believe? Well, why shouldn't you believe that I'm God? I'm not asking you to. I don't think you should, but this is why people try and reverse it, because they're going to say, well, no, I don't have to prove that God exists. Well, yes, you do. You have to prove that God exists if you expect me to believe it. Sorry, in my role as God, you can't ask me for any proof. You can't test God. I don't know why, but you can't test God. So you can't ask me to do anything. You can't ask me to do anything to prove that I'm God. So the first thing you're probably going to say is, well, I could kill you and that would prove you aren't God. Yeah, that worked well for that Jesus guy, right? You don't believe he was God because he was killed, right? Because I can do the same thing. I can say, oh yeah, it's all part of the divine plan, and of course you can kill this physical body, but it's not really killing me. It's just killing, the part of me that I've allowed to come down to earth. It's part of my divine plan, and I'm not telling you exactly what that is. I intentionally created this body to appear among human beings. So, and you're going to say, well, that's not how it goes in the Bible. The Bible doesn't say that you're going to do that. Well, so what? The Bible isn't my book. I didn't write the Bible. I'm God. Some people wrote that book. And I let them do that because, well, I have my reasons. As a matter of fact, think about it. Why would I have my reasons? Well, here's a hint. If you want to read out the really gullible part of a population because, well, you're trying to narrow it down to the intelligent people you want to spend eternity with, well, why don't you let somebody or several people write books claiming to speak for you and see who's gullible enough to believe them. And here's another trick. Make the books contradict each other and contradict themselves, so you can really make sure that people are absolute bottom of the level if they believe them without noticing the contradictions or trying to claim they don't exist. So I mean, that's just fun. So you could kill me and it doesn't prove anything. And same thing, of course, goes with hurting me, etc. So, sorry, that's not going to work. It's not going to prove anything other than the fact that, well, you're bigger than I am, or stronger, or you can get a gun, or whatever. So, that doesn't prove that I'm not God. You can't ask me to perform miracles, or make prophecies, or answer questions, because all those things would be making God a performing monkey, and we can't have that. No, we can't ask God for any proof. It's got to be on faith. So what I'm saying is you should just have faith. You just have to have faith that I'm God. And you're going to say, well, why should I believe you're God if you won't give me any proof and I can't prove you're not God? Well, the answer, of course, is you shouldn't. You shouldn't believe anything until there's real proof. And let me note that anything that's done by humans or nature doesn't prove that I'm God or that there is a God. Birth isn't a miracle. It's just natural. Mothers used to die a lot giving birth before science took over. Medicine, natural body healing, not miracles, just nature. Business, personal success, no, not a miracle. Let's say, for example, if you are putting together a magazine, maybe you own a magazine, and you work hard and other people work hard and it's a success. That's not a miracle. If you put together a magazine and you didn't do anything, if you sat on your butt, you didn't have any printing presses, you didn't have any sales or editorial staff, you just dreamed about owning a successful magazine, and it suddenly appeared completely finished, just as you envisioned it. It was distributed without any drivers or anything of that sort, and money from the advertisers to support it magically appeared in your bank account with no salespeople, now that would be a miracle. But the fruits of human labor are not miracles. And that's something you need to just realize. Sorry, there is no evidence that a God exists. No one has ever been able to come up with sensible evidence that a God exists. It's all taken on faith. So if you have faith that some other guy is God, you should just as equally have faith that I'm God. And I'm telling you, send me all your money. Well, okay, no, just send me 10% of your money. That'd be good enough. Now, I don't know why I would need your money, because after all, if I'm God, why can't I just provide it? I mean, if I want to support a church, if I want a church to speak for me, why don't I just make sure they have all the money they need? I mean, you remember that old manna from heaven trick, and the bread and the wine and all that stuff that other guy that was claiming to be me supposedly did. I mean, you know, a bunch of sleight of hand tricks, but if they even happened, I'm not sure. My memory is, you know, I'm old, what can I say? But really, he claimed that he could just make water turn into wine and make food appear. So why is it that churches don't keep doing that? Why does the money just appear? Why does it always require human effort? Well, the answer is very simple. Because there is no God. Human beings invented gods just to give them an excuse to be an authority, to have power over people, to get their way. Well, I'm telling you right now, don't buy into it. Don't believe anyone who says they have some kind of authority over you because it was written in a book that there's some magical being that they're going to convince you to believe in. Don't do it. Gods are not real. They're no more real than the Tooth Fairy or Santa Claus or any of the other things that the human imagination has invented. So get over that part and start dealing with reality. Thanks, and see you next time.